4 years. This is my 4th year, and I love it here. I count down all year, 10 months left, 9 months left, just to get here. I love it here. So just thanks for letting us crash your church and stay here for a week, and just doing all this for serving alongside us. So I'm going to share my testimony with you, but I know there's some scripture that I had in mind first that I would share, and then kind of go off of that. So I'm going to read to you Psalm 41 through 4. It says, I waited patiently for the Lord. He turned to me and heard my cry. He lifted me out of the slimy pit, out of the mud and mire. He set my feet on a rock and gave me a firm place to stand. He put a new song in my mouth, a hymn of praise to our God. Many will see and fear the Lord and put their trust in him. Blessed is the one who trusts in the Lord. Okay, so that basically is my testimony. That's what it was. It starts out with, I waited patiently for the Lord. I was about 15 when I decided to really live for the Lord. Before that, I said it, but it's not a halfway thing. Until I was about 15, I was always trying to find a middle ground where I could still serve myself while saying I was a Christian, and that doesn't work with God. It took me 15 years to figure that out, and I struggle with it still today. I still choose myself over him sometimes, but I can find myself serving him more often than not, and it's a joy now. It's not something I do to keep us standing with God. Verse 2 says, He lifted me out of the slimy pit, out of the mud and mire. He set my feet on a rock and gave me a firm place to stand. And this really shows you that even though I did bad things, but I was pretty young when I knew what was right and wrong. But I was, selfish. I had all my guilt, but God sent his son Jesus to my slimy pit, to all of that ugliness that I had. A perfect king. Can you picture a perfect king? He left his throne in heaven to earth, to my slimy pit, to forgive me of my sin, my shame, my guilt, selfishness, and pride, and he gave me a new life. That's not a fair trade-off. He died to give me new life, and he wants to do it for you too. You don't have to fix all your problems. Scripture doesn't say that Jesus looked at you and said, come out of there, get out. He came down to my slimy pit, and he brought me out. He put a new song in my mouth, a hymn of praise to our God. Since I've received salvation, my life has been anything but perfect, let me tell you that. But I know that he has a plan that will bring him glory, and as a Christian, that's what we live for. I find comfort in knowing that God has a plan. He's with me through everything, good and bad, and that he deserves my praise through all of it. The final verse says, many will see and fear the Lord and put their trust in him. That's my prayer for the past 3 years that I've known many of you, is that this area, that Diego Martin would put their trust in him, and that they would have that new song in their heart to sing to him. I just pray that you guys put your trust in him. He knows and has a great plan for you, and he is definitely worthy of your praise.